Some media do mark World Refugee Day.
Another 70 million people have been forced from their homes because of persecution, rights abuses, conflict, and violence.
The current number of displaced people worldwide roughly equals the population of France. Most people who are forced to leave their homes hope to come back, even those who have spent much of their lives in a refugee camp.
Spain is rather sensitive to the high number of refugees.
The world's displaced population, which includes refugees, asylum seekers, and internally displaced people, has doubled in 20 years. Around half of the refugee population were children.
And deportation proceedings are underway for 35 people police call illegal migrants from Myanmar. They were arrested overnight on the border with Thailand. The Rohingya Muslims are fleeing what the United Nations calls ethnic cleansing. Police found them waiting to be smuggled across the border into Malaysia. One smuggler is also arrested. The music the Frontex Maritime Police are playing was, in fact, written by the son of a refugee.
So music is a very important part of the hours we are here, okay? The Refugee Day, it's important because it's a worldwide problem. Countries that don't go through those problems think that it's not their problem, but it actually is, because it's everyone's problem. Every night is almost the same if we don't have any events, okay? So we go to the area of responsibility, we try to cover it back and forth, we stop the boat sometimes a little bit, keep communications with the TVV.
As quiet as it is on the water, it is equally quiet on the hill overlooking the strait.
It's now 6 in the morning. It was a quiet night. No boat passed to here. Everything is great.
As they said, that's good for both sides. Their patrol resumes tonight.
There
13,000 Kurdish refugees from Syria live here.
وكان بجي زيادة كهربائتنا يعني كهرباء كان بيتشيكن وافجي كيما
استيما جاء بي مدير متهجر هات نكشف كل امنا فشن بيخي تبي كوني جمره لك ناس في اختياري تدنا انا فشن شلتي حتى خلاص بي ابني لهم سرمدي سرماتي قلعانتي قشاتي جمره هناك تشتكي جمره هناك
ومدرسة قالك إنا باشا جبولون تخوازن هي بتشكا ديجي ما بحل من درسوا بتشكي صعب أم تخوازن بتشكي سهل ببن.
Their complaints don't consider that here they are safer than they were in Syria. Four refugees from Venezuela blocked the street in rush hour on World Refugee Day, like other days. They go to work when the light turns red. Tips from drivers are an alternative to begging. During a long, hot day, they make enough for themselves and their families here. Occasionally, there's extra to send home to relatives in Venezuela.
Todo el mundo que viene se extraña Venezuela, pero pero en este momento no me gustaría como volver a Venezuela. No me gustaría, la verdad la extraño y todo, pero extraño lo que era Venezuela, más no lo que es ahora.
In the afternoon, there's time with his son. Tonight, he will hit the tourist areas where the big money is. "1,500 kilometers to the east, a recent Venezuelan refugee gets ready to find work for the first time.
Porque me siento ahogado.
His hat, worn with pride, has Venezuela's national colors. It sets him apart from Trinidad's citizens. He has often made the trip to town to help other refugees. Today, he'll help himself.
Generalmente voy allí a reunirme, ¿no?, con venezolanos. Hay mucha gente necesitada. Sobre todo la gente que está recién llegada y que no habla el idioma. Una de las cosas que me encanta de este país es lo verde, la naturaleza.
On this day, his chances for a new job are not bad. The unemployment rate in Trinidad is less than 4%. Nearly 10,000 kilometers northeast, a light rain is falling.
Türkiye yani dünyada başka bir memleket yok bence. Öyle benim fikir.
With nearly 4 million refugees, Turkey hosts more refugees than any other country.
Tamam.
Here he has found both a home and success. He arrived in 2011. This day, he's a phenomenon.
Selamun Aleyküm.
Owner of Syrian restaurants now franchised across the country, a role model for Syrians and an example of a refugee who has done well.
Binlerce var iş adam, binlerce. Çok güzel şeyler. Fırın imalat var, yemek olarak tezgahlar var, makineler yapıyoruz. Mermer, afyun çok şeyler. Yani Suriyeli burada çok başarılı bence.
He's hired hundreds of Syrians in Turkey and offers refugees a taste of home. World Refugee Day marks a new beginning for a self-titled brother of misfortune. He fled within his country 4 years ago when Russian troops attacked his village in the contested eastern Ukraine.
Хотелось просто пересидеть бомбежкой в другом месте, не там, где стреляют, взрывают и так далее. И у жены немного нервная система подрасшаталась, но у детей тоже. Поэтому, чтобы все это залечить, все это восстановить, поэтому решили поехать.
Today, he starts a new job in a pharmaceutical lab. Although displaced, things are good. He's still in the same country, speaking the same language, and is among family. As World Refugee Day continues, the head of the Bangladesh Refugee Resettlement Agency is at his next event, a friendly football match between Rohingya refugees and the surrounding community. Not all have shoes. For the refugees, it's a well-appreciated diversion with awards from an important man. Ayub is getting ready to slip out of the camp where he and other refugees are being held. There's no way to get word to his family in Afghanistan right now. He left behind 3 sisters, 4 brothers, and his mother and father.
So, who is this?
My father, and this is my small brother.
It's been 12 days since he last made contact, and he says there's a lot of crying when they do connect. He's starting a risky journey.
This is my friend, and the train cut his legs. You can see here there.
For him, the risk is worth it. Just 200 kilometers east, another Afghan refugee is doing well.
When you start the journey, you don't know what is the ending, what is waiting for you on the other side. I just wanted a place that is warm and I have food, and that's it. I don't want any more, nothing much.
He spends his days at a refugee center where he has learned English. He thought he could pass through to Hungary and get to Germany, but the border closed and it's been more than 2.5 years. He stays in touch with home by watching VOA News from Afghanistan. Serbia is welcoming. Filippo Grandi likes to hear refugee success stories. The UN High Commissioner for Refugees is collecting his thoughts while a TV interview crew sets up.
Are we ready? Camera rolling. Camera. You ready?
Success stories are rare in his business, even on World Refugee Day.
Action. Go.